Hi, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism. So today I'm going to be comparing and contrasting New Age manifestation, New Age thought with magic. How are they similar? How are they different? How can they coexist? So let's begin. But I want to start by qualifying something, providing a disclaimer. I understand that I'm going to be talking about magic in a broad sense. Now, magic as a subject, there are many different styles, there's many different approaches. I understand that. With the New Age manifestation, I want to put it out there that I understand that it can go deeper than some of the surface layer stuff that I'm going to be talking about. But I can't cover everything in one short video, so I kind of want you to kind of understand that. Okay, I don't want to have all these comments about I'm misrepresenting magic or I'm misrepresenting manifestation. You know, I don't want anybody to tell me I need to reread The Secret or something like that. So I want to kind of tell you all that, and let's get started. For one, let's start with a common definition. So magic, as I'm defining it, is the use of thought, will, and intention in alignment with, it could be spirits, guides, masters, gods, goddesses, in order to create a given result, a specific result or desire that the magician wants. Now, when we're talking about the New Age manifestations, New Age manifester, we're talking about thought, will, and intention in alignment with the universe in order to create a given result. So we're talking about that manifestation. It's going to be much simpler, at least in a pure sense. You don't necessarily have that particular person working with advanced spirits. You don't see them working with a lot of too many props or anything to kind of key their mind in. It's mostly meditation, concentration, focusing. Now, another difference is, we're talking about magic in a broad sense. There are magicians, there is styles of magic that are geared towards harm, revenge, seeking out aggressive justice. You don't necessarily see that in the New Age manifestation. I'm sure that there are certain people who kind of sit in meditation and wish things to happen and try to create thought forms and stuff that way. But you don't necessarily, if that's not as visible. And it could very well be that there are a lot of people doing that. I just don't see it very much. I do think, as the book says, there is a dark side to the light chasers. Something that they have to kind of deal with. The whole myth and archetype of the wounded healer and all of that. Another thing is that, let's talk about the main idea when we're talking about New Age, and you've probably heard it, those big three words, the law of attraction. So the law of attraction, I personally don't like these three words. What I feel when I talk about attraction is I've got to make something come to me. So anytime I say I've got to make something come to me, that's almost like putting pressure on me to make something happen. Now, I prefer what I call alignment. So that means with my thought, will, and intention, that once I focus on something, it is tuning into the potential realities that could make that possibility happen. So I'm tuning into this, but it's also excluding this, and it's excluding that. So I am aligning with something in order to make it come to be. That's my personal preference. Now, when we're talking about this particular thing, it isn't just thoughts that make this happen. So we can sit here and have an intellectual type of wishing for $500 to come to us, but that's not enough because there has to be a strong feeling associated with it. Now, some will say that, okay, so if you're thinking about the $500 and you have that strong desire for it, that could motivate you to go and do some extra work at your job or go and do something else to gain the $500. Possibly, but that doesn't exclude the possibility that you were aligning with it and then all of a sudden you had the idea, okay, I can make $500 by doing X. So with that particular idea, that is alignment. Now, we are also, how this relates to magic is that if we have a negative thought, let's say we have anxiety, and I'll tell you, anxiety is a big killer of manifestation. And maybe I shouldn't say a killer of manifestation because it will help manifest something. It will not only block the things that you want to come to it that are good for you, but it will also throw that needle off that we were talking about in a direction where you get some unexpected, unpleasant experiences. Now, I used to think, before I was into all that, the anxiety was just making me sort for anxious experiences. In other words, I thought that maybe my brain, because of my anxiety, was sorting for, I was just interpreting things as negative when they weren't really. And I'm sure that's a part of it. But then I actually started to keep a journal of the things that I was interpreting possibly as negative experiences, and then the good things that came. And I noticed that it did seem, when I tracked months, that I had really more bad things happening to me. And I think that what it was that anxiety was throwing that needle in the direction where, okay, I just happened to be on a specific road in order to get into that car wreck. The anxiety, that underlying tension, just somehow made it so that I got into that, I was at that right time at the office where I got into that argument with somebody. When if it would have been an hour later, it wouldn't have happened. The issue would have been resolved because it would have been taken care of in another way. That's what I'm talking about. So if I were to look, I would say that anxiety is probably the number one, and depression, intense sadness would be a number two. And that being said, I'm not saying that those people who have specific mental disorders can't manifest things, but I would be dishonest if I said that I didn't think it. If I said I didn't think it was a barrier that had to be overcome. So these types of intense and negative feelings have the ability to throw everything off, as whether you're a New Age manifester or you are a magician. The way that that works for the magician is that, okay, so you want something. Let's say that you want to attract a relationship. And before the ritual, you have the desire. So here's the thing. If you have that desire and it's too intense, sometimes desire is so strong that it has that side of scarcity, and also maybe of self-doubt. So if you're going into that ritual with those feelings, and you do your ritual, and then afterwards you still have that strong desire, you're still having that self-doubt about maybe lack of self-confidence, it's likely that it isn't going to work out the way that you want. Now, some rituals in magic have what we call emotional alchemy, where you can start the ritual, you can remember all the negative stuff, and then as a part of the ritual, what you're going to be doing is transforming it into that which you want, and let you embody that and feel that, so that you get to have a full experience of how how that the wonderful things that could happen as a result of getting what you want, that would be kind of, I guess, the cure, the antidote for that. But I don't think everybody does that little piece in their ritual. So, but I would suggest that before you do your magic, that you check yourself and that you really look at yourself and what you're feeling. If you need to do a little bit of meditation or to tone down some of those feelings of desire, you need enough fuel in order to keep the motivation, to keep everything flowing. But you don't want it so bad that you're in a state of desperation, because you're going to take that mindset into the ritual, and you might take that mindset after the ritual. What I do is I think about what I want, I feel it some, and then what I do is I imagine what it would be like. I do this before and I do it after. What it would be like, what would I see, hear, feel, or experience when I get what I want? Would I be, seeing people congratulating me for something that I've accomplished? Would I be, hearing words of praise if it was a job promotion? How would I feel? What are the feelings of pleasure and satisfaction that I would get after I get what I want? And I do this before, and I'll do the ritual, and then I'll do it afterwards. That is why there's that old magician's dictum that you want to forget about your magical goal afterwards. They weren't so much worried about thinking positively and of a positive expectation of getting it. They were worried about worry. They were worried about you with your mind interfering with it. And they also had, the whole idea of to know to dare to will to keep silent. They wanted you to keep silent about it so that you would kind of let it go, in a sense. So you want to kind of have the very, very good feeling of positive expectancy with your magical work. And the same thing if you're doing the New Age manifestation. You want to be very consistent in carrying forth with that. Okay, that's about it for the video. Couple announcements and reminders. I have been putting some books in my description if anybody wants to look into some of the subjects that I'm talking about. I am not the expert in all of this. I enjoy talking about these things, and I do have some knowledge, but I want to also give everyone the opportunity to look further. So in some of my videos I'm putting descriptions of books, so if you want to check those out, feel free to do so. And please subscribe and like. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the support on Patreon. I'm putting some videos on there that have some advanced things on there. I put a video on evocation not too long ago. I put a video on money magic, actually using physical things like dollar bills, which is pretty cool. I'm putting different parts of my new book before it's actually out on Amazon. So I have some really cool stuff. So check it out. I'll put a link. Thank you very much, and goodbye.